Hi, this is Vamsi Krishna Chava. Today I am going to tell you about compact visualization of Java program execution. Coming to introduction, open source visualization system called Jive that support two forms of runtime visualizations of Java programs, object diagrams and sequence diagrams. They capture respectively the current execution state and execution history of a Java program. These diagrams are similar to those found in UML for specifying design time decisions. These diagrams are constructed at execution time, thereby ensuring continuity of notation from design to execution. In so doing, a few extensions to the UML notation are proposed in order to better represent runtime behavior. As sequence diagrams can be belong unwidely, we present techniques for their compact representations. Horizontal compaction greatly helps minimize the extent of white space in sequence diagrams by the elimination of object lifelines and also by grouping lifelines together. Coming to the Jive architecture, Jive is a versatile dynamic analysis tool suitable for a number of applications: software debugging and compression, dynamic visualizations, teaching programming languages, and software engineering. To support these features, Jive runs Java programs in debug mode while collecting execution events corresponding to the particular instructions of the program, such as variable assignments, method calls, and object creation. These events are collected into a memory model. Derived models are constructed in order to support the dynamic visualizations. Jive's implementation is based on a model view controller architecture, the main components of which are illustrated in the figure below. Here it shows the main components of Jive architecture, and here Jive architecture runs Java program. Um, Here the Jive architecture runs the Java programs in debug mode. And the next slide is the debugger part of Jive is implemented on top of the Java platform, where debugger architecture and event-based debugging architecture, where debugger and debuggy tiers run in separate Java virtual machines (JVMs). The types of events supported by JPDA are virtual machine start, death, and disconnect, class prepare and unload, thread start and death, method call and return, field access and modification, exception thrown and caught, line step. And the next slide is call trees and vertical compaction. Call trees are fundamental structures that capture the hierarchic caller-callee relation of procedural program execution. At execution time, a call tree grows in a depth-first manner. When execution has reached a particular node, all nodes on the path from the root of the tree to this node represent the stack of outstanding method calls. The sequence diagram can be viewed as a call tree that is displayed in a horizontal left to right manner, except the object lifelines are not captured in a traditional call tree. As objects are an important component of a sequence diagram in our representation, each node of the call tree also has the identity to the object in whose context the call was made. And next, coming to the horizontal compaction. There are three ways by which horizontal compaction occurs. During vertical compaction, by grouping lifelines when calls are filtered out. The simplest case of horizontal compaction is during vertical compaction. Arises when a method makes nested calls to the methods in the other objects. In rooted structures such as trees, vertical compaction generally results in a horizontal compaction as well, because all operations start at the root of the structure. grouping lifelines. Grouping can help in significant reduction of sequence diagram size when multiple objects of a class are present. In this figure, it shows the best applicable when the objects of a class interact only with the objects of other classes. Hence, choosing a representative object of each class is sufficient for conveying the intended effect. Intended effect. The benefit being that horizontal spread of the sequence diagram is minimized. The procedure for applying this kind of horizontal compaction is straightforward. Once the call tree is constructed and the number of object instances of the each class has been noted, the call tree can be traversed and individual object names of each node are replaced by a single object group name. Here the horizontal compaction by grouping lifelines, the three lifelines A1, A2 and A3 are replaced by a single lifeline A1 to 3. This is followed by vertical compaction where two FOO calls are replaced by FOO, and the procedure for that is here, here the lifeline pertaining to three instances of class A, namely A1, A2 and A3 are replaced by single A1 to 3, thus achieved horizontal compaction. This is followed by vertical compaction. Note that the grouping of lifelines sets the stage of vertical compaction. In order of compaction in reversed, that is first vertical and then horizontal, no vertical compaction can be achieved. Illustration of grouping: when initializing a graph consisting of nodes and edges, the constructor calls are executed in series, and each of the node and edge calls are invoked in different instances, node and edge objects. By grouping all node objects into a single object and all edge objects into a single object, the constructor that calls in vertical dimension can be then compacted. Exclusion filters. Java interactive visualization environments exclusion filters are motivated the observation that often users know a priori that certain parts of the code are trusted or irrelevant to a particular task. For example, in a debugging scenario, all library codes may be considered and trusted, whereas in a program compression scenario, the users may be interested only in the public interactions among objects. This opens the possibility for significant reduction in the diagrams that are to be displayed. And now finally coming to the experimental results. These experiments have been run under Jive extended with a sequence diagram compaction plugin. The compaction plugin requires as input an extension tray execution trace, that is a sequence of execution events. Thus a Java program is first executed under Jive. Its execution trace is saved as a.csv file, and this file is given as input to the compaction plugin. Jive does not require access to the Java source code in order to construct runtime visualizations. It suffices to provide just the class files. The compaction plugin allows the user to choose the type of compaction to be applied: vertical, horizontal, or both. Three types of compaction scenarios recurred in our experiments: pure vertical compaction, pure horizontal compaction, and hybrid vertical and hybrid compaction, horizontal compaction. Pure vertical compaction. This scenario is the result of execution of iterative loops in the program. The size of resulting regular expressions depending on the length of the sequence, the number of distinct symbols in it, and the actual sequence of symbols. Typically, sequence with fewer symbols are amenable to more compact labels. Coming to the pure horizontal compaction. Horizontal compaction is applicable when three or multiple objects of same class grouping their lifelines can be provide significant reduction of sequence diagram size when object sequence interactions need to be visualized, as is usually the case in multi-threaded execution, it is desirable to omit horizontal compaction. Hence, compaction plugin allows the user to determine when a particular compaction should be applied. Coming to hybrid vertical and horizontal compaction. Vertical compaction often results in horizontal compaction when a call to an object results in nested calls to the other objects of the same or different class. Thank you.